All right. Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody had an awesome Thanksgiving break. We are back to advisory Tuesday morning. So it's good to kind of quote unquote see everybody, right? It's good to have everybody here and kind of communicate and talk with each other. Um, One thing that just changed, and I'm not sure if the school emailed that out or not, but we were informed, I think it was last like Friday, admin emailed us and said that we were going to start having advisory twice a week, like meeting twice a week. So I know technically you have advisory twice a week already because we meet on Tuesdays, and then on Fridays, there's some sort of like survey or something you have to do from what I've been told. I'm not exactly sure what you're doing Fridays. Um, but now they're going to add a meeting on Thursdays as well, starting this week, supposedly. So again, last week they told us that it starts this week. I haven't seen anything about it as far as like what we're doing on Thursday. So that's just what I've been told. So please, does anybody want to type in the chat or unmute themselves and let me know? Did you receive an email saying that we're starting advisory on Thursday? Huh. Okay. So yeah, that's what I will email out on Wednesday. Just a quick um, reminder that if we are having one or if we are having advisory, hey, this is what we're doing. We're going to meet. So if you see an email from me or an email from admin saying that we're having advisory on Thursday, please just kind of show up here on Thursday at the same time. I'm going to be here either way just to check in with people and just say hi. And I'm not sure what's going on. So again, I'm just kind of the middleman. So I'll let you know if I hear anything. Okay. Thanks everybody that told me that in the chat. That's kind of what I figured because I hadn't seen anything either. So I'm going to let somebody that's late in real quick. All right. So what we have on our plate for today is kind of more the same. I think from what I've been told, again, this email just got sent to me from admin on Friday, I think it was. They're wanting to add in the Thursday, I think, because they want to not only talk about what we have been talking about, which I put in Canvas, and it's basically like a check-in, like, you know, that we can check in with each other, give each other good strategies, you know, to make sure we're holding each other accountable and like working and things like that. But they also want to go back to that curriculum that we were using beforehand when we were kind of, you know, just more of the social emotional aspect of it. So they want to do both things. And I think that's their idea between having it on Tuesday and Thursday. So what I want to do is just go through this like little slideshow that they put together for us. And then it's going to kind of just be us talking for a little bit. And then I'll wrap up and tell you what I'm going to do from here. So again, just very similar to what we talked about last week. I just want to make sure that everybody is setting themselves up for success. That's the big idea here. So organizational tools. Last week in that slideshow, if you don't remember it or you didn't watch it or you weren't here, in that slideshow, there's little links that you can click on. They're like highlighted and they're hyperlinks. You can click on those and it'll open these. I think there was 2 of them, organizational tools that the counselors kind of set up for you. Again, there are organizational tools that are super detailed. It's a program on your computer that you can fill out and fill in every box. There's things on your phone. You can download an app that kind of sends you reminders. Hey, don't forget you have this English essay due on Sunday, you know, things like that. I think that's cool. So if you're an app person and you're into electronics and you want to organize yourself like that, download a homework app. Like I've said, though, I'm a very simple person. I think when it gets too complex, like I'm filling in all these different boxes and checking boxes and all that kind of stuff, it might be too much, just one more thing on my plate to have to organize. So that doesn't really, you know, fit my lifestyle. So for me, I'm just simple. I take a half sheet of paper and write out my list. Here's everything I have to do this week and check it off as I do it, right? That's enough for me. So again, it's totally individual. You know, if you do whatever you want to do, just make sure you're doing something. Do something, okay? I love this quote. Anyone who has never made a mistake has never tried anything new. That's just something that goes along with trying new things. You make a mistake, you get better at it. You perfect your practice, right? So making mistakes is not a bad thing. Just make sure you're trying new things because that's how you grow. Digital planners are posted on my Canvas page. Again, to access those digital planners, just go into the slideshow from last week and then look through the slideshow. It talks about digital planners. You can just click on those. Set a goal for yourself. What would you like to accomplish this week? If you want to get caught up in social studies, right? I want to get all my stuff caught up in social studies and I want to get current and get that stuff done today. That's great. You know, whatever you have on your plate, make sure you set a goal. It's really important. Prioritize getting current with classes and place less emphasis on older missing work, with a few exceptions. I'm assuming what they mean by the exceptions are things that weigh heavily on your grade. So if in math class you're missing a test from a couple weeks ago and your teacher allows you to make up that test, that should be a priority, right? Get those things that you're missing, those things that are weighing your grade down, get those taken care of first. You know, little assignments here and there that are worth a point or whatever, you know, maybe not place a lot of emphasis on those, but stay current. That's what they're really trying to emphasize. Taking care of yourself is very important as well. I think we've talked about this before. I know in my class, when it came to Algebra 2, typically I give them 1 week to do things. I took those students and I gave them 2 weeks last week to do that unit. And the reason was because it was Thanksgiving break. I wanted them to take that time off and relax or spend time with family or sleep or do whatever they love to do. I think it's really important to not be grinding every day of the week, because what you're doing is you're not giving yourself time to kind of recover, right? With my geometry class, though, I didn't do that because they already had 2 weeks to do their assignment. So it was a little unique. But yeah, I think it's really important to make sure you're taking downtime and taking care of yourself. That's key. They give you 3 things here, and you're more than welcome to access these. I'm going to give you time at the end of class to do this. This article deals with like breathing techniques, which for me, I think it works, but I don't know, maybe I just haven't like really dive deep and embrace the idea of breathing techniques. But I think it's interesting. I think it can definitely calm you down. So if you want to read about that, you're more than welcome to. How to practice self-care. This talks about things like, being successful in school has so many other prerequisites. So if you're not eating right, if you're not getting enough sleep, right? Drinking water, things like that. There's all these different prerequisites that kind of come before being successful in school. I know some people are failing just because they can't get out of bed and they can't participate because they're so tired, but then they stay up till 3 or 4 in the morning, right? So having a schedule is super important. Getting to bed on time, things like that. Prioritizing things, wrapping things up before bedtime, not being on the computer or playing video games right up until bed because your brain doesn't have some time to kind of wind down, things like that. So this is really interesting to read through this. I took a look at it and it's kind of cool. It's a long article. There's lots of pieces to it. But you can skim through it and just read what you want. This is a video. It's super cute. If we had more than 20, 25 minutes, I'd probably show it. I think it was only 3 or 4 minutes long. But it's a bunch of kids just kind of telling you, you are awesome. You're doing your best. Give yourself forgiveness. Things like that. I think it's a great video to watch. It kind of puts a smile on your face because it is cute. It's a bunch of like little kids, 5-year-olds, 10-year-olds even, that are kind of telling you these positive things. But I think if you're not telling yourself these positive things, or you don't have somebody in your life that's telling you these positive things, like friends, it can kind of wear you down. So it's really important to watch videos like this and to kind of, even though it might seem cheesy to you, it tells you, it puts you back in perspective. It tells you that, you are trying your best. It reassures you that, you are who you are because that's who you're supposed to be. And that's okay. Accept your faults and things like that. So that's a cute video. If you have some time, you can go back and watch that. Of course, if you're in a crisis, there's always people to reach out to. I would encourage you to reach out to anybody that you feel comfortable with. A friend, a family member, a counselor, a teacher. I always open myself up to anybody that wants to talk about anything. It doesn't have to be about math or advisory or school. I get people that come into my class or email me because they're just stressed about stupid crap and they want to just vent, right? Venting is a valid method of working through feelings and processing things. So if you ever want to vent and just complain about things, I'm here for you, right? There's also other places like the Thurston County Crisis Line that you can call, or you can text the line at this number. So I would just really encourage you, if you have something to talk about, if there's something weighing heavy on your heart, please reach out to somebody, because there's a lot of people that love you and there's a lot of people that want to see you healthy, happy, right? Successful, things like that. So don't feel like you're alone. Now comes the time where I'm going to kind of talk about what we're going to do for the rest of the time here. So for the rest of your time, what we're going to do is we're going to break up after I let everybody in and take questions, all the late people in. But what I'm going to do is process progress reports, and I'm going to send those out to you. It's come to my attention that not a lot of families and not a lot of students are checking Skyward. And that's understandable. Life gets busy and, you get going on the day-to-day grind with either schoolwork or other things. And you just forget to do that. So what I want to do is be more proactive with sending you guys progress reports every week. So I think when we wrap up every Tuesday, I'm going to do that. I'm going to send out progress reports just so that way, at least once a week, you're checking to see, hey, I've got a D in English and I've turned everything in. I should contact that teacher, right? Just to kind of put that on your plate. I wanted to talk to you about two things though. Well, technically one thing. You may have noticed over the last couple of weeks that I've held people back after class, and I've talked to two groups of people, and I haven't talked to everybody. So I've talked to two groups of people. One group of people are really struggling. They're struggling in one or more classes, not only, with grades, but with showing up to class and things like that. The other group of people have been very successful. Either they're passing all their classes, maybe not with A's, but just with passing grades. Or I've heard like good reports from teachers, things like that. So those two groups of people have shared with me some insightful things that I wanted to share with everybody. The people that are struggling, I think every single person that I've talked to, they're struggling for two reasons. Either because they've turned in everything into the teacher and they just haven't updated the grades, which is understandable, or they've just kind of not put in the effort they needed to. One of those two things. So if somebody has a failing grade or their grades are low, it's either because they've already caught up and they're just waiting on the teacher to process the grades, or because they just admit that they haven't stepped up. They haven't done their job. Right. And that's an important thing to recognize and to realize, because now you have a place to start and say, okay, I've got to step it up. This is what I've got to do. I've got to create a list. I've got to create a schedule. I've got to do whatever, right? Contact the teacher. So that was interesting. The other group of people that have been successful are just doing things like we've already talked about. And there's a couple things that I want to mention. They're keeping a schedule. Right? One of the other teachers in the department told me that one of their students is still waking up, showering, eating breakfast, getting dressed, right? And they're basically acting like they're still going to school. Because when you put yourself in that mindset to where you still have a job to do, and you're not just rolling over in bed, grabbing your phone and starting your Zoom call, that's a successful way of doing it, right? Still get up, give yourself a half an hour to get showered, eat breakfast, have something in your stomach, and sit at a table, right? And not be in bed or laying on the couch. I think that's important. Another thing they do is kind of what we talked about as well, is created like a schedule, a list of things that they have to do. Basically, one of the students I've talked to just creates a list, and on that list, as they go through it, they check things off. And at the end of the week, once everything's checked off, they're done. They know they didn't forget anything. They didn't have to keep all that stuff in their head and keep track of it. I think that was awesome, and that was really cool to hear that student share that with me. So I don't want to call anybody out, so I'm not naming anybody. I'm just saying that these are things that are helping the people that are being successful be successful. just, again, it's as simple as taking a white sheet of paper. I don't know if you could see me or not because I'm sharing my screen. I can't see myself. Just taking a piece of computer paper, a scratch piece of paper, and just writing out the things that you have to do that week. I think that that's as simple as you can get, but it's really effective, okay? So what I'm going to do is I am not going to do what they're kind of saying here, put people into groups and do what I've done before. But what I'm going to do is process those grade sheets and email those out. If you have any questions based off of those grade sheet reports, please email me back and let me know if there's something I can do, or if you just want to check in with me and be like, hey, it says this, but I'm already on top of it. I'm working to get it corrected, or I'm just, continuing to work hard in that class, and I'm going to get it up soon. Okay. Quick announcement, school picture retakes are in the gym today. Wow, that's kind of late notice for you guys, but hopefully if you need retakes, you can make that in the gym between 1 and 4. So make sure you're wearing a mask, and they'll do it just like the original picture days where they separate people and kind of give people distance. Additionally, from now until the end of the semester, advisor will meet up on Tuesday and Thursday. So maybe this is their way of letting you know. I didn't see this before. So maybe that's their way of informing you. That from now on, every Tuesday and Thursday we'll meet. So like I said, if you don't hear something from admin, or if the counselors don't email me something or whatever, I will still be here Thursday at 8:20 to talk about things and stuff like that. So I'm assuming this is their way of informing that and telling you that's what we're going to do, is every Thursday we'll meet at 8:20. So just like always, though, if you can't make Thursday, if you forget about it and it's not on your schedule and you forget and you sleep in or whatever, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Just access Canvas. You don't even have to email me. I'll just upload whatever things we're doing in the video, that session, in Canvas. So just access that sometime on Thursday and you'll still be counted as present, okay? All right, I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to let these late people in. Pause for questions. Feel free to unmute yourself. Anything from anybody? All right, so a couple quick reminders. I will send out that progress report here in just a minute. Feel free to go back and watch any of those videos or links that we talked about breathing exercises, or that kid video that we were looking at. I will see you all again on Thursday at 8:20. I'll be here, but if you can't make it for whatever reason, just make sure you access Canvas and watch the session, the video session for the Zoom video, and look and see what we did, okay? All right, it was awesome seeing you guys. Take care. I hope you have an awesome day, and we'll see you Thursday. Bye.
Have a great day.
Have a good day.
Thank you. You guys too.
Have a good one.
You too. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Thank you too, Ethan. All right. Oh, sorry, Amy. I was just texting you back. But you're the only one here, so I will answer your question.